All right, guys. Hi, guys. Good afternoon. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Just give me quick confirmation so we can start. All right. So I assume that I am audible, guys, right? Just okay, guys. Yeah. Thank you very much for the confirmation, and let's start. So yesterday we started about talking about one of the NLP use case, right? About the chatbot. So how to create a chatbot, and we also tried to discuss that how this entire thing of the chatbot came into the picture. So during the business process outsourcing, people thought that they wanted to, let's say, just want to focus on their core competencies. Like we took an example yesterday, right? For the car company where General Motors, if General Motors job is to create the cars, right? So they should focus on creating car rather than taking care of the customer services, right? Customer services, customer support, spare part related issues, right? Spare part related issues and some other issues. And that's how. Yeah, guys. So today we are trying to create a chat box again from the beginning. So don't worry about it. So what I was discussing is how these things are started, right? So the companies, manufacturing companies or certain other companies, they decided that due to the increasing cost pressure and due to the globalization and other stuff, they decided that they will be working more towards their core competencies. Let's say if we take an example of any car manufacturing company or any company which is about to create the semiconductors, or they are building the laptops or GPUs. So they decided that their core job is to manufacture things, not to support the customer care and not to support the spare part supplier vendor this stuff. For that purpose, they decided that they will be outsourcing this kind of jobs, and that's how the customers call centers and everything become what got moving. And that's how the chatbots also try to come into the picture. And we also try to understand that if we are trying, even nowadays also, if you try to get into contact with any of the customer call center, right? At that time, you will be facing difficulty because once you have to call that number, then after that it will ask you to enter into the main menu, go to certain numbers, press this, press two, press five, and after that all this hustle, you will be able to speak to a customer care. This is not easy, right? Sometimes you have to go on the wait mode there, since there will be number of customer who will be getting engaged. And then people decided about if we can come up with some idea where we can just remove all this obstacle, and we can start directly having the greater or superior customer experience. And then whatever task, obviously whenever people are calling to the customer center, most of the time they are asking the frequently asked question. Let's say in the case of the online supplier or any e-retail retail company, whenever the customer trying to interact, maybe they're calling for the product information, the service warranty thing, or maybe they are calling for where is my product, why it is not received, or whether I want to cancel this product, or some sort of related queries, and whether you guys are open or not, and how I can do this procedure. There will be established procedure for each and everything, and there will be not much change in terms of the customer policies, right? So what if our bot, our AI-based bot, humanoid bot, which will be able to take care of this thing, and which will be a greater experience, right? Right, rather than calling a person waiting for the things and then he will be experiencing, right? And whatever things the person is asking, he is able to understand that. So that's how all these concepts started, and they are now performing very well nowadays. If you go to any commerce website, e-commerce website, like a banking website, healthcare website, any for that matter government website, all these websites are having some sort of virtual assistant, let's say Siri, Piri, and everyone is now giving names to them, and they are trying to understand that how this will be able to support you. And what is the best advantage of this thing is that this kind of bots are available in your local language, so they don't have to hire the people, don't have to manage lot many resources, and they don't have to care much of the infrastructure facilities as well. And throughout the experience for the person who is trying to interact will be the similar. So people, the kind of customer satisfaction will be at a higher level. So that's how the things are started, and we've decided that right, we want to build a chatbot. And since we have decided that these chatbots, right, there are two types of chatbots. One is based on the rule based chatbot, right? Let me use a brighter color maybe. So it will be more highlighted. And this, then another will be NLU based. Natural, what is NLU? Is natural language understanding, the human-like interaction where we'll be interacting our language, and this robot will be able to, or this bot will be able to understand what you are trying to say, and accordingly it will try to give you a response, right? So in meanwhile, we also try to see what is the use case we are trying to solve over here, and how the entire process will work, right? So we also decided that we'll be calling a API, we'll be getting into touch with the API, we'll try to call this API, this API will be displayed through our bot, and each and everything we'll try to take it. And we try to integrate this bot with the Telegram. I'll show you. It's a very simple process, not an rocket science. So within a couple of minutes, this kind of platform made it very easy nowadays. So within a couple of minutes of the task, we can integrate this bot with any of the platforms, integration platforms which are available. So let's try and understand that there are two types of bots which were introduced. One is rule-based, and this rule-based requires a certain kind of understanding, right? This is more like technical bot, and this require a technical person to interact with it, and it will be working on the certain rules, right? And then second one, which was become more popular nowadays, is a natural language understanding. What it's doing is, in the background, trying to understand the user, what user is saying, and then it will be trained on the NLP algorithms, right? On the basis of that, it will be able to identify the context or intent of a person, and then identifying the language and corpus and everything, it will be able to give you a reply, right? That's how it is working, and that's how it has become very popular nowadays. We are having like virtual assistant, like Apple is having Siri, then there is Alexa is there, then there are other platforms, right? So we also understood that the different companies which are providing this kind of platforms, which are having the inbuilt natural language understanding bots platform available, are the main players are the Google, right? Google is there. Google is giving the bot in terms of the dialog flow, right? Dialog flow. There is a two versions, dialog flow ES and dialog flow CX. In CX, you can even design the UI part, UI part in case of the how the entire bots, let's say the front page will look like, how the interaction will be happening, where the person will be able to see, whether he will be able to see a bot over here or somewhere in the top or middle of the website, or how it will look like, what kind of graphics will be there, what kind of text box or insert option will be there, all kind of the user experience, right? User experience that you can create, right from the scratch. And then one we were able to use this, which we discussed, was Google Dialog Flow ES. It is like a different kind of languages also available within using that language. It's already pre-made, or let's say the customized platform, and we can use even the pre-built agent. There are some pre-built agents are available, and we can utilize them, and we try to create our own bot, or you can customize it for our own purpose, or you can start again from the scratch, like whatever you want to train, all the things, or how the rules should look like, and how it should interact, where the beginning and end should be there. All these things you can define again. Apart from the Google, there is also called as Amazon Lex, right? Amazon is having Lex. Then Microsoft is having Azure, Microsoft Azure is having Luis with them, right? And there is also one more platform available, which is Rasa NLU, right? Rasa NLU, sorry, Rasa NLU is there. Rasa NLU, right? These are the popular platform. Apart from there are many other platforms also available, but these are the popular one, and they are giving a various kind of support. So let's try and understand that what we are trying to build over here. Before that, I would like to share my screen so you guys can see the dialog flow, right? Just a minute, guys. So this is how the dialog flow will look like. Hope everyone is able to see my screen. And then in the beginning, like I told you, if you go to home page, then you will have to register. Once you register everything and you try to pay the information, and this again, how you going to register is through the Field Boost, through the cloud, right? This cloud platform, and this cloud platform, you will require the credit card information. On the basis of that credit card information, they'll be giving you. Yes, sir. Please repeat this procedure. Can you guys tell me exactly what you want to repeat? Like repeat the entire process or repeat what are the platform available? Just ping me that what exactly you want me to repeat, so I can start from that point again. Okay. The platform available. Okay. I will tell you the platforms again. Okay. Let us understand platforms. What are the platforms available? So the popular one now you are seeing is from the Google Dialog Flow Essential, right? So it is called as ES, Google Dialog Flow ES, Google Dialog Flow ES, right? This is the one which is available. Again, alternative to this, again it is provided by the. So these are the platforms which are available. Right? These are the platforms. First one is from the Google. One is Google Dialog Flow Essential ES, and there's also called as CX. Google Dialog Flow CS. CX is for the advanced versioning purpose, where you can create your entire UX. UX means user experience and user interaction. UI UX, user interface, just like the building the websites. Correct. So you can create a website and then you can decide how my bot should look like, right? This bot, how it should look like, and where it should be popping right from the bottom of the page, right? Whether it is at the bottom or whether at the top, and then what kind of colors it should have, the graphics and everything, right? All about the graphics part, right? The color, graphics, what kind of text box should be there, like what kind of option should be there where person will be entering the information, all this stuff, and the entire user experience you can even create from the scratch. And what you can do is there are also some pre-built agent, right? I will try to show you this when I go to this home page. So there are also pre-built agent, right? Pre-built agent, where there these agents are like, let's say the ready-made kind of products which are available. You can customize this product according to your needs, or you can train them. You can train them on your own data, right? On your own data, and you can use them directly. That is also possible. That is called as pre-built agent, right? So I'll try to rub this other information, and then let's try to discuss about the other platform which are available. So another platform which is available, right, is the Microsoft platform, Microsoft Azure, right? Microsoft Azure is giving Louis. And there are also one more from the Amazon. Amazon is giving Lex. Okay. This is the platform Lex. And this is one more platform which is very popular, which is Python based platform, is a Rasa NLU. Rasa NLU. NLU is for again natural language understanding. These are the popular platform available. Again, what are these platforms? All these platforms, right? In the background, right? In the background, they are running all the NLP algorithms, right? All the NLP algorithm, let's say, whenever the user trying to interact with this kind of platform, you don't have to write all this code entire things from the scratch. maybe just like this one, where you can able to see these are the different products which are made available. I can use this drag and drop here, or I can customize some of the things, and using that I can create a like entire bot, right? So that is what that it is meant, the pre-built agent or some other things. And in the background, they are taking care of all this algorithm. Whenever a person is trying to interact in the English, or let's say for that matter, any other language, Chinese, Mandarin, Japanese, or whatever language is available, this NLP algorithm first trying to understand from the corpus of the data, right? It is called as corpus. From this corpus of data, it will try to detect a language, detecting the language, right? Detecting language, and based on that, certain other operations will be done, and it will trying to understand the intent, right? What is the intent that user is trying to say? What is the intent means what user trying to ask. So on this basis, these certain algorithms are working in the background. Don't have to create each and everything from the scratch. So these kind of algorithms are available in the background. What you have to do is you have to just use this kind of products which had a code in the background already written. So it is, they are trying to make it more sophisticated way. So you don't have to waste your time again creating entire architecture. So architecture is already available. Just try to customize them according to your needs. So we'll try to understand. I hope now the platforms are clear. We'll try to understand what are the use cases, how the chatbots can be used, right? So let's say that, let's say if you are a doctor, right? And most of the time, just a moment again. Let's say you are a doctor and you want to, let's say, book the appointments, right? You want to book appointments, and for that purpose, what you will do? Usually in traditional approach, you have an assistant, right? Who is there available during the fixed duration, let's say 9 to 6, or some other duration. Between that, there will be lunch time also, and she will be receiving the calls and making the appointments for you, all the patients, and she will be making the schedulings for you, right? What are the schedules for the today, and who will be the appointment, and accordingly you can plan, guys. What if you don't want this kind of assistant? You can directly hire a bot. A bot will be able to book the appointment, right? It can book appointment. It can directly check your calendar. Let's say for that matter, Google Calendar. And on the calendar, it can check whether what is your availability. And once you are available, according to that, it can give you a time slots, right? Time slots. So how this will happen is the user calls in or customer calls in. So you will ask, okay, how may I assist you? Then it will ask, okay, book appointment. Book the appointment. It will ask for the certain dates and time, right? It will ask for what date and time you want to book appointment. The dialog flow is asking for card. Yeah, dialog flow will always ask for card. That's what I explained you guys. So it is asking for the card because it is not directly provided free, right? So it is provided through this cloud platform, right? If you understand this cloud, Google Cloud, first you have to create the cloud account, then only it will be able to give you this kind of products. And for that matter, I already told you that you have to enable the APIs. Whenever, let's say, try and understand what is cloud. Maybe I will try to show you here. Here we go to Google Cloud. Cloud is entire cloud-based systems which they are providing all the platforms, right? Whenever you go to this Google Cloud, so they have their products, right? Here, all the products, pricing, everything is available. And then from here, you can go to console, and then from there, you can try to access the features. If you try to go to the products, right? Let's say, and for all these products have certain, like, let's say, whenever you are a new customer, even if you can read, when you are a new customer, you will get a $300 free credits to run, test, and deploy the workload. For that matter, also, for that matter, to claim this credit, right, you need a credit card information. And once you fill this credit card information, they will not charge you. They will be charging you only ₹2 transaction. They want to check whether you are giving a valid credit card or not. And on the basis of this successful transaction, they will activate this free credit, and then you can use this free credit and go to console and then enable the APIs, right? There are different APIs available. Google Cloud Flow platform. Don't have a credit card, then it's a problem, man. You need to have a credit card, right? Or you can borrow a credit card from your husband or friend. So that is also possible. You don't have to take the responsibility then. right? But without it, maybe you can try with a debit card. You can try with debit card. I don't know that debit card works because they have a standing instruction on the credit card side, because they have a standing instruction, or let's say digital debits, the mandates, e-mandates, right? They try to create the e-mandate on your on your card, so which can be managed later on. For that purpose, they need the authenticity. And then even you, afterwards, once you are able to use this, you can cancel this e-mandates, because what it will do is, once you set up this billing information with them, maybe they'll try to charge you once this free credits got over. Once this free credit gets over, they will try to charge you. They will not directly charge you. They will charge you on the basis of the transactions, right? They charge you on the basis of the transaction. That's what they do. For that purpose, you go to console. Once you go to console, then you have to enable the APIs. Then you have to fill all this information. And what one more trick I can tell you guys, that how you can utilize the free credit is, say this way you can search and go to the APIs, different APIs, Azure, AWS, right? Data science, build a mobile app. In this popular services, you can go to view all. Maybe here you will be able to find the Google dialog flow, right? And here, marketplace, when you try to see all, at that time, this is networking, APIs, and ML will be able to see the dialog flows on your view, right? In the list, you will be able to see the dialog flow, and you can then go to this dialog flow and try to hit it and then try to enable it, right? There are lot many, let's say there are lot many products, and it's difficult. You can search by name also. Dialog, right? Dialog flow. Maybe you try search it. Spelling maybe not correct, right? So if you try to search, it will try to show you the dialog flow or some other option out of this. And you just have to, there will be a button similar to this one where you can click and create the API, and then it will be able to show you, right? So let's go to our dialog flow. So let's go to dialog flow and try and understand what are the use cases we are talking about. Let's say that you want to book appointment. That is also possible, right? Book appointment. And then the background algorithm will work, try to ask certain information, just in case date and the time. And it will be directly linked to your Google Calendar, and it will try to occupy that. This Google Calendar API is available. You can integrate this API to your bot, and then it will book an appointment for you, right? For the particular date and time, right? And it will also give you a reminder whenever there is a book, and you don't need any scheduling assistant. It will work as an assistant for you there. So this could be one case, or there could be another case, right? When a popular use of this is IRCTC. IRCTC again is a platform which is provided by the Indian Railway, and they have their entire database and everything, and they have exposed their API, and which is free and available. Anyone can use this API. Using this API, all the companies who are doing the flight booking or railway booking, all they are trying to exploit these APIs in the background. They're trying to check these things whenever you go to such sites, Trivago, Go, Ibibo, or some other travel company site, Redbus for that purpose, or any other website, right? So that website will be in the background fetching this API, which is made available by IRCTC. Then you will be able to see the list and everything, and then in fact it will be able to allow you to book the flights or trains. But how the trains and flights are booked, they are again taking you to the IRCTC only, and from that purpose only, just they are using this mediator as any company, a booking company, right? Booking agent or booking company. And by this mediator, you are again trying to reach in the background the same thing, right? That is one of our popular, or let's take example of popular is social entertainment is Book My Show. Again, this Book My Show is trying to do the same thing. Maybe there will be a bot which will try when you will interact with them and you say book a movie ticket. So it will ask for the movie. Let's say Mission Impossible. This is the current movie which is available. So it will ask for the timing, which timing and date. It will try to show you all the timings and date which are available, and then you can choose out of that. And once you choose and pay, right, make a payment, it will give you a confirmation, and then tickets will be sent to your email ID, right? To your email and also to WhatsApp or whatever registered media is there. For that purpose, it will be available. So now we are saying this is okay for the medical purpose or for the other purpose, how the companies will be using it, or banks, or for that case, fintech sector or any other sector, how they will be using. Whenever these companies have this kind of website, on that website, there may be suppliers associated with maybe customers or any e-platform companies where you will be able to see that there is a virtual assistant present. He will be popping up, and somewhere here and there, anywhere middle bottom or some, he will be just scrolling from somewhere, and he will try to come up this irritating window. They will say how let's say how I can help you. I am let's say I am Prime. How can I help you? Tell me how I can assist you in what way. And this kind of options will be there. When you try to interact with it, there will be a humanoid bot available in the background, which will trained on the certain data. Let's say what is FAQs, frequently asked question, or some sort of data which you are already learned, right? So on the basis of that, it will be able to resolve your query. You don't have to even ask for the any mediator or any customer care executive, right? So there are lot many use cases which are available using which you can do the same things. Even you can have a personal assistant in your let's say mobile. You can implement them, and it will be able to remind you of the appointments. It will be able to remind you the timings, and all other things will be also possible. You can customize it in that way, right? So let's having said that, let's try and understand what we are trying to achieve here today. So what is our end goal? So we are trying to create a bot. Obviously here the bot will be NLP bot, which will be doing once our user comes and say hi, right? Once it say hi, and on the basis of that, it will be able to give you a reply, say greetings. Greetings. Then after the greeting, it will say how may I assist you, right? So once the user express his intent again, that I want to, let's say, learn about some frequently asked questions. So we'll try to create a knowledge base. It is called as knowledge base. So I will directly upload certain questions and answers, and then after that, on the basis of certain question, and I will also upload the answers, modern answer for them. Then you guys will be able to see that how we can achieve these things. Now it is called as knowledge base option. You can see it over here. This knowledge option. So where you can upload a file consisting of the frequent question and answer, model question answer, and on the basis of that, your bot will be trained and will be able to give you the answers, right? That is one option. And then second option will be, we want to ask about the weather. Let's say I want to create a bot which will be frequently telling me about the weather of current day. Okay, current weather, right? Current weather. For that purpose, what we'll do, whenever there will be a weather asked by the user, then the intent will got hit. Intent something called as weather or W, and this intent will in fact go back to user and ask for the city, because it doesn't make sense. So if in general, I tell you what is the weather, I may say weather is good, rainy, cloudy, something like that. Doesn't make sense until unless we try to associate this weather with any particular city or object, right? So for that purpose, what we'll do is we'll ask a user specifically that please enter a city, so we can understand that what kind of weather, which city's weather you are interested in. Maybe we'll give a Bangalore, Berlin, something, and any city you guys suggest, it will be able to fetch the weather, right? That kind of globalization we'll try to do, a global bot, right? Global bot with the global cities. Any city in the world which is available in the right this application which you will be using in the background. So that kind of information it will be able to fetch it, right? Once it enters the thing, this city, the Python application will be there. I will try to also show you Python application and make a quick code walkthrough for how this Python application, which is based on the Flask. Okay, Flask app. Flask again is a framework, guys. You will ask what is Flask? It is a framework to create a web-based application, web-based APIs, right? Web-based APIs. And these APIs are called as REST APIs or RESTful APIs, because they are again kind of following the REST architecture, right? What is REST and all, that is not the topic for the today, guys. So not try to delve into these things. REST API, trying to understand API means one kind of link. Let's say you can simply say that it is a kind of link which will be able to generate this URL, right? And you hitting this URL, sorry, by hitting this URL, you'll be able to access the information. So we are using a popular URL or API called as weather map API, right? WMA, weather map API. Weather map API will try to call this weather map API. Our bot will get integrated to it. I will try to show you how we can integrate it. And using this weather map information, we try to fetch information on the screen. Let's say for temperature, wind, what is the humidity, and all other information which we are interested in, right? So this kind of use case we are trying to solve over here. And also we're trying to deal with the FAQs, right? Knowledge base. So let's quickly go back and start understanding the things where whether we are able to create certain things, right? First thing, like I told you, is intent, right? What do you mean by intent is whenever first time any person is trying to interact, at that time he will try to understand what are the intention, right? What are the intention of a user, and according to this intention, we'll try to take or predict. The bot will try to predict the response it want to give, right? Because by understanding only the language, right, natural language, my bot should be able to understand what a user is specifically requesting, and on the basis of that, it should predict that what could be the response we want to render, right? For that purpose, again, start understanding these things. The first intent is by default intents. These are two by default intent: default intent fallback and default intent welcome. We also were able to speak about it, right, yesterday. So let's understand the welcome intent. Welcome is something like whenever a first time user logs into this chatbot, at that time he should be able to understand that by saying anything, let's say hi, hello, or something like that. So he will be able to start the conversation, right? So for that purpose, it's something called as first you have to give a name. The name is already, since this is a pre-built intent, the name is already given default intent, and then just ignore this context and event for the moment. And then you have to come to a training phase. What is training phase is some kind of training sentences by using which our bot will be able to understand. Okay, so whatever sentence or this kind of similar sentences, right? Not exactly, you will say again whether there will be n possibilities, like n number of cases possible using which I can greet a person or I can start a conversation, right? So you will again say that by humanly or by as a programmer, whether I need to enter all these cases. No, that's not the case. What you have to do is you have to let's say provide some let's say some example cases, right? Let's say some example cases just like good morning, how are you, hey there, howdy, right? Hey, yeah, this kind of greetings, hi there. Or you can write anything like say what's up bro, what's up, any sort of things, what's up, right? And once you hit enter, it will get added, right, in the list. So we have to create a list, this kind of list: good morning, hello, namaste, something like that, right? Namaste, right? So it will be able to understand. Just ignore the spelling, right? Okay, namaste or something like that. And once I hit this kind of keywords, I just created few sample of it, right? It's not possible to create entire each and everything. So, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create some samples here in this kind of keywords. And I will try to also say that once this kind of keywords are encountered by my bot, so what should be the response it should be able to give, right? This namaste, once you hit enter, it will get added to the list here. or even if you don't want them, you can even directly go ahead and delete them, right? That's also possible. You can see this kind of icon over here, so you can delete it, right? So once action parameter will not go into that directly. So responses. So what is the training phrase and what should be the responses? Once user says, hey, how are you, what's up bro, or what's it, and let's say namaste, then it should be able to give us the response like this one. Hi, how are you doing? Hello, good day. How can I assist you, or what can I do? What's up bro, right? Something, this kind of things, right? You can add any number of the default. These are the default one. You can add if you want, right, in this list. Once he says namaste, maybe you will greet him accordingly. So it is not again mandatory, guys, that it will go as per this sequence only. It will take any random response and try to give it to you, because we need to humanize this bot, right? So for that purpose, even if I take only one or two response, again and again, this kind of response will pop up and it will become very monotonous interaction. So in order to give a human touch, we are trying to create some scenarios out here. And then we try to understand whether my bot will be able to understand this scenario or not. That's what we'll try to experiment here. Right? Once he says namaste, so he said Ram Ram. Right? Also possible on most of our Indian parts where people say Ram Ram, right? Or anything, just for the purpose I am trying to say it, right? Once you enter these things, then you hit save, and then it will start the training and intent will be saved once you get a message. So agent training is started, right? So agent training is started means it's starting in the background, this training for this algorithms, but it will take some time. It will not instantly, like now the training is completed, right? So you will get a message in this way, then you can go ahead and try it, right? Let's say I will try to use this kind of words. Namaste. Let's see if it works. Hi, how are you doing, right? Namaste. Now let's say I'm just saying good morning. So you're saying Ram Ram, correct? So this kind of interaction, this how it is simple, guys. So we are just going into simple things, then we'll try to start with the complex things, right? How to integrate API and everything. So this is what we have to do. We have to provide the training phase. You have to provide the responses accordingly. You save. Then in the background, it will try to train everything. And if you look at this part, how to change the language? Yeah, it's also possible, guys. You can change the language. Here is the option, right? If you please click this option, English. So you can add local language also, possible. So by default, there are the certain languages are there and language settings is there. You can add anything, right? The huge list is available. Russian, Swedish, India. Let's see what all Indian languages available also. Indonesian, Hindi, Gujarati, see, and any other languages are also available. This is Telugu is available. Tamil is available. Telugu is available. Right? Same Marathi is available. And some languages are available, right? Chinese is there, Latin, Latvian, many languages available, right? ODI is available, so most of the languages are available. To try to hit it, maybe Hindi is available. Hindi is also available, guys. So you can try to include, but today will not go as per these things. We'll go with the English things. Let's say we are a multinational company, we're trying to implement for that multinational user. So we'll stick to common language, English, right? So fallback intent, again we discuss. Fallback means when a bot is not able to understand anything, at that time it will throw an error, right? So what I was telling before that also, let's understand once this fallback intent, then I will try to give you diagnostic info, what it says, that how we trying to understand in the background. Let's say default fallback intent is when a bot is not able to understand what you are saying, right? At that time also we should think that how we can handle that kind of scenarios. Let's say you are trained your bot, but you will not be able to train it on all 100% scenarios. There may be certain scenarios where bot will be not able to negotiate, right? Or understand with the human user. Hello, sir, I'm getting this classroom as expired. Please contact admin. How can I serve? Amar, can you just take care of these things, right? Some of the people are saying that this classroom is expired. Maybe you guys, you ping to Amar. Maybe he will be able to help this one, right? So let's try continue with this fallback intent. What do you mean fallback? Whenever we trying to train our bot, it may be possible that there are certain other things where our train is not bot is not trained. At that time, what will happen? We should able to handle that one also. For that purpose, also again we have a actions input unknown, right? So whenever there is no input unknown, this is inbuilt keywords, right? I'm not trying to create anything. It's inbuilt keyword, and then on the basis of that, it should be able to give us the response, right? I do not know that. Can you say it again? And I have tried to cover many things. One more time. Sorry, what was that? Sorry, I did not get. Can you rephrase it? I did not get what you repeat. I missed that, right? Say it again. This kind of things, whatever you want to say, you can add it over here. You will try to understand what it is trying to doing. Let's say we have trained our bot on greetings as of now, and also on the city. But let's say, how was the match? How was the match, right? I'm talking about the cricket match or something like that. So I am not, right? I have not trained my bot on this topic. So it will default, it will say that if you can see here, it will try to identify the intent, right? So user is saying, how was the match? And on that basis, it said it is trying to give you a default response because it's not able to understand. The intent was fallback intent because this was not trained, right? The action was unknown. And they it's also try to analyze your sentiments, right? So you was not able to even get what sentiment is there or what kind of request you are trying to do. So this kind of diagnostic is also available, and that's how you can understand that how these bots are working, right? So all the parameters are available. It will try to analyze it parameter by parameter. Then it will try to analyze what was the intent, what is the action that has been identified accordingly, and how was the sentiment for that. And for that purpose also, even it's trying to give the sentiments. So this is how the diagnostic info should be looked upon. And once you click this diagnostic info, you can see a raw response here, raw API response, and how it is trying to identify. This is JSON format, guys. Again, and in the JSON format, it is trying to identify the parameters. Like let's say query text was how was the match? The action was unknown, and it was saying that it is all required parameters were present because we are not given any condition that this kind of information should be available. Please tell me of the website. I'm not able to find it. If you are, please share this website link. Website in the sense you're talking about the Google Dialogflow website, or website in the sense you want to join this meeting. I'm not able to understand, Ayush, what you are asking exactly. If you are facing any technical difficulty, please ping to Amar. Okay, Amar is present in this meeting, and just ping him directly and he will be able to solve your problem. Okay. So let's understand in the background what is happening over here. So whenever any particular text is asked and it is not handled, input is unknown, and then it's trying to understand whether all the required parameters are provided or not, and what is the fulfillment text means how we responded back. I missed what I did not say that, right? I did not understand that. This is the name of the project where it is stored, and the background some code, right? Some code background in language or English. Detection confidence. You can see here intent detection confidence, right? That means in the background, it's trying to run some algorithms, trying to understand the confidence level, some sentiments, and then on the basis of that, it's trying to return you the things. And this entire format is JSON format because it is structured like key values. These are the keys and these are the values, right? One explaining is, guys, this is called as dialogflow.googlecloud.com. Okay. If you can see this one, you can try to search this in the Google and you will be able to say dialogflow. Yes, Dialogflow. Yes, you search in the Google, it will give you the link, right? Google link. But don't worry, it will not allow you to log into this screen or able to give this screen until you create an account with it, right? So this is how it will look like in the background, guys. So we were able to clearly understand what are the two intents now. Let's say we want to create an intent whether I want to ask about the weather, right? So for that purpose, so these were only default intent. We did not create anything in the background, right? It was by default given. So what if I want to create my own intent? At that time, you say click this +1, or you can say right here also this is a button, create intent. Once you hit this button, it will be able to give you options, right? Intent name, let's say W2 weather, and in the intent, right? Just forget about context and event. Then you come to the training phase and you try entering again this weather. What are the questions you are expecting from the user, and accordingly, what should be the response, right? Response. These are the two mandatory things. Then we'll try to understand this, what is actions and parameter. So and once you click on save, then it will train a bot on it. And then on the basis of that, you can start again the transactions, right? So I will not create this one, okay? Already created weather bot yesterday, weather intent. So we'll stick to it. So it is weather, and then I have entered the text or sample phrases in this way, these training phrases. What is the weather today? Tell me about the weather in Kolkata. You can write anything. First, we'll try to understand without city, then we'll try to go into the detail and understand how is the weather in the particular city, right? So first, I will provide a plain text so that I will ask how is the weather, and tell me about the weather. What is the weather? Tell me weather, or any other sort of training phrases if you want, or you can simply say current weather. Current weather, and if you enter, it will be able to add these things in training phase, right? This kind of training phase now we have created, and try to understand that what will happen now. So once we have created this kind of things, then we have to also create the responses, that what could be the response for that purpose, right? So I have written this kind of sample responses: good weather, nice weather, it's cloudy, it's raining today, it's clear and sunny, or you can add whatever you want, or you can delete also accordingly, right? You keep on adding also list. So for that purpose, we'll try to add it. The weather is nice. You can say it's drizzling, right? It's drizzling. This kind of response, I think I made a mistake in spelling. Drizzling, right? It's drizzling. This kind of response you can give and try to save it. Once you save, you can see in the bottom that item will be saved and the agent training will start again. Agent training is started, and we have to wait until the time it finishes the training, because in the background it will train the model again. Okay. Once it's finished, then we will be able to successfully test it, right? Now the testing is completed. So let's test on the basis of these questions, and let's see how it responds to us. So you can go to this section, try now, right? You can even use the speakers. I'm not using at the moment, but you can give a voice commands also. It is on inbuilt, right? So let's say that is the weather. Please enter the city, right? Why it is asking? I'll again tell you, because I made up action parameters. I'm mandatory that please enter the city. Now I am removing it. Try to understand it, because I told you in the beginning, right? It doesn't make sense to ask the weather without any city, right? So first we'll try to understand only by looking at this simple test how it will be able to give us. And once it is able to give us, then we'll try to understand how we can make it mandatory to enter the city. So I think the training is completed. Let's again ask, what is weather today, right? So it's saying it's cloudy today. So how it is able to generate? It is not going to check with any API. It's just giving on the basis of the random response, right? Out of this one, it is giving a random response, right? Let's try again. Let's ask it about the weather. Now you will say that I have to what in training phases I have entered entire sentences. What if apart from that I am trying to enter the sentences which are similar to it, but I am not covered? Maybe at that time also it will be able to relate it, because I am trying to enter weather which I have not entered previously. See, it's drizzling. So I have not given this kind of training phase, right? I have written current weather, but how is able to take this as a weather, right? So that is how, if you try to see, so it is able to identify that it is a weather intent. The action is not given by us, but the parameters was previously given. Now I have removed the parameter, and then it is trying to analyze the sentiment, right? On the basis of that, it is able to understand. So that's how I told you that if you give a training phase and then user is able to ask any phrase which is similar or quite similar to it, You don't have to create all the scenarios. It will be able to take it, right? Tell me the weather, what is weather, try and again something else. Tell me the weather. Okay. And let's see what it says. Mhm. Yeah. It's drizzling. You can try the same thing. Tell me weather. So it's raining, right? So it's randomly giving us the response. That's how, guys. I guess now everyone is clear what is intent, what is training phases, and what is response, what we're trying to create, right? So next thing, what we'll try to understand, and then I will go back to you guys and ask if you are able to understand everything. Let's cover, let us cover one more topic, which is called as actions and parameters. So I told you in the beginning, whether I'm trying to ask about the weather, it doesn't make sense to ask weather without using the city name, right? Without using any object, how I can identify the weather. So for that purpose, what we can do is, whenever a person is trying to enter something like this, right? Tell me about the weather. What is weather report for Mumbai, right? So this kind of question I can try to insert, right? So once you enter this question, what we have to do is we have to make the things mandatory, right? Say parameter city in this case. So you can choose this parameter in this way. Then it will be able to give you a list that what this parameter should be called upon, right? You don't have to create rules again that what will be the rules for validation rules for this purpose. There are already rules given here. Let's say at the rate GeoCity, at the rate GeoCity, or sysdate dot date and time, or let's say you are asking your customer to enter the email ID, phone number. All that kind of parameters are already made available over here. So color, geo capital, date and time, system date and time, right? Let's say last name, location, percentage, right? This kind of things they have created rules, and they have created this parameter ready-made, so you can directly go ahead and use it. Once you enter the training phase, after that just try to select the name of the city and then make it as a GeoCity. Let's say GeoCity. If I make a GeoCity, it is also possible, right? There are two ways. I can go ahead and directly choose from the let's say list here. So it will be able to generalize it, and it will apply all the rules and condition on the basis of it. You let it be any city you enter, it will be able to take it. Or the second option will be you create an entity. Let's say you create an entity called as city. In this case, let's say you create an entity named as city, and in this city define the synonyms. Let's say you given a name to city, right? And then I am trying to write as Hyderabad, and how even I can give a synonyms to it. That how, even if a user asks it another way, Hyderabad, or let's say HYD, this is also possible. I can even give multiple things, right? By using this one. And then let's try to enter one more city. Okay, yeah, Mumbai. Then we can again give synonyms. Mumbai, let's say what you can say. Mom, right? Any sort of things, any synonyms you can give, right? For that purpose, you can give synonym to Kolkata. Kolkata, right? Kolkata can be also called as Calcutta. This way, right? So we can create this entity called as city, and then we try to save this, and we give the name, right? Provide the name, synonyms, and then try to save this list. This is our private list. So then I go to intent, and this is weather intent. At the time, I'll say what is the weather. This is the weather in Mumbai. Right? This kind of question I'm trying to ask. And then what you can do is you can make this select this Mumbai, and then you can hit on it. So it will able to give you the list of the parameters. So in that we should be able to see your parameter city. So this one which created, we created, right? So if I can take this city as a parameter, so it will understand that it is city, and which is a parameter name is city, entity is city, and it will try to resolve the values accordingly. So it will be able to understand, okay, now I'm talking about the city. So let's try to enter it. And in the city also, if you remember, we have added Kolkata, right? Kolkata, Mumbai, and some other synonyms, right? I not saved it, guys. We have to save it and again. So Hyderabad, right? HYD, Mumbai, MUM, Kolkata, Calcutta, this kind of list. So it will be trying to identify the city in the list. If it is present, then it will be able to give you the results. So you have to save it. The training bot agent will train it, and it will be made available for you guys. This is the one way, or some other way is like I told you guys, directly assign a @GeoCity, so it will be able to globalize it on the basis of predefined rules. Let us again write. Okay. Right. Okay. So once I hit enter, then here you can choose @city. For that purpose, I am saying city and then save. Intent is saved. Now, whenever agent training started, and it will close the training, and then whenever you are saying what is the weather in Mumbai, it will be able to fetch the city accordingly. So it will be able to understand, okay, Mumbai is a city. That's what we are trying to achieve over here. So again, I will try to write here. That is weather in Mumbai. So it's raining. Now again, since we have defined the synonym set, so again I can rewrite this page as what is weather in we gave MUM, right? Mom. It's raining. So this how it will be able to take. Now if you write, since I have also written over there Calcutta, right? Hyderabad. So it will be able to take from that name also, and we will be able to identify what is weather in Calcutta. Right? So it's taking, right? This is how. So now you will say that if I go by this rule, I have to create entire huge list of the city in the intent, and I have to give it, right? Just to avoid that hassle, what we have done is, other than making this one, we have given it as a parameter as right? You want a GeoCity. So let's go and understand sys.GeoCity. Now, what is the use of giving this? We'll come to know. First, we'll try, and again, it will in the background, it will create a agent training, and it will start and stop every time whenever you make the necessary changes. So once the training is completed, now we'll try to understand. Now, what I have done, I have mentioned only that training is completed. Now we can use this one, right? Feature. So what I have done is I have given only specifically 3 names in the city, right? Kolkata, Hyderabad, and Mumbai. What if I want to ask anything else apart from these cities, right? And any other city? So let's try and understand whether it will be able to tell us, right? Tell me about, right? Tell me about weather in, let's say Kolkata, Hyderabad, and the Mumbai was given. I will say Pune. It was not given, right? So it should be able to identify that I am asking about the Pune city, and it should be able to give us a reply. So it's giving now, right? But if I go to entity, this city, I just given 3 names. So if you choose a city, this entity, then it will be able to identify through this list only. Since we have made it as an at the rate system city, it has applied all the rules and it has taken care automatically for whatever city you will put. Let's try with the different city. Let's say take an international city now. So tell me about the weather in Berlin. Okay. So German city. Let's see. So it's taking now. You can try with anything else, right? Any other options you can take, right? What is tell me the weather, what is the current weather? Let's go with current weather. Let's say New York. It's able to give, right? You can try with any combination. So why again, see, this is the beauty of the Google Airflow, that they have made all the customization over here. So you can directly go ahead and use this. Similar rules are also available for the email, telephone number, email ID, name, all kind of validation, right? Email ID should not contain this kind of characters and all. All these validation are written in the background. You can directly and go ahead and ask, right? So guys, quickly ping me if you are able to understand what I've learned. Then we'll go to knowledge base and then we'll move to integration then. Just quickly ping me that this part is clear for you guys, all of you. Whatever we have learned till now, we have not learned anything very different or very difficult. We just try to create the intent. We are trying to create a response, right? So one more thing, what we can do is whenever we're trying to create this kind of response, this weather response. So now I have to ask at whatever time or whenever the user trying to ask about the weather, I should make them enter the city, right? So for that purpose, this action and parameter will come into picture. Now we have created that GeoCity, right? GeoCity global. So this list will be automatically available. If you come to this intent and click on your intent weather, and this will be available, right? Actions and parameter, right? So what I can do is I can make it an mandatory. So I click on this parameter and then there will be let's say column called as prompt. The prompt means whenever you're trying to ask whether please enter the city or something like that, what kind of text should appear there. So you can customize that. For that purpose, I have written please enter the city, right? You can also write or punch city. Punch city. So this kind of responses will appear whenever a user trying to ask about the weather. Now what we have created, first we are asking only about weather, then we created variable called as city. Now what I am trying to say is whenever a person is asking about the weather, if you do not enter weather city name in his request, so it should mandatorily ask that please enter the city, then only it will be able to give us the reply. So that's what we are trying to say here. Then save. So this one, the training will again start, then again it will end, then only we will be able to use it again similarly. So let's wait, it will show us a pop-up that the training will be completed, started. Some sort of pop-up will be there. Okay, so it's not giving pop-up, maybe training is completed. Let's try this one. So now what I am trying to do is I will try to directly ask my bot, please tell me the weather. Okay, or I will simply write weather. So then if I directly ask the weather or tell me the weather, then it should pop up and ask, please enter the city. That's kind of functionality I'm trying to test over here. So see what it's saying. So it's a user asked weather. Now the response is please enter the city, correct? So now I will enter the city. Let's say and take any city, Paris. It should be able to return me the response. So Paris. Punch city. It's not taking Paris. The training is not completed maybe for that purpose. It will take some time to implement that, right? Okay, let's try now. Okay. Open the city. Let's see Berlin. Still not taken. Again, I will try to save. Once you save, it will ask whether you have to enter the city or not, right? That way. It will take some time. Now we made both the parameters mandatory. Try to again check with it. So now again I made it DSCB global. Save. Let's see if we complete the training again. Yeah, agent is started training now. It will finish. Then it should magically ask us the city. Then only it should be able to return us the response. That's what we are trying to achieve here. Okay, guys. So I think I'm audible. So what we're trying to do here is our training is completed. What I'm trying to make here is until and unless the user enters the city, we should not be able to display him the right. Let's say display him the response. That's what we're trying to do here. So let's try this one. I've completed this training. If I hit a weather, it should be able to tell me punch the city. Once I punch the city, then only it will be able to give me the response. No. I think taking again. It's not taking. Okay, it's taking some time, but that's how it will work anyway. I will save and make settings, and then only it should be able to give us the response. That's how we'll try to do it, right? If it works okay, otherwise you know how to do it, right? We'll move it, will not waste time setting it up again. Let's wait for some time. And we'll try again. And it should ask for the city, then only it should be able to give us the response. Right? Like this, good weather, nice weather, or something like this. Let's go weather. Let's continue. Okay, action is not available. Some sort of setting is missing. It's not training again, but you know how it will work. So once I make it mandatory parameter, because here, once you go to the training event, actions and parameters, you click this icon, and then it will make it mandatory, right? And after you, once you enter the city, then only it will be able to fetch you the result. That's how we can make it, right? So maybe I have created two more parameters here. Maybe it's getting confused, something like that, right? Delete one of them. Sometimes the system it doesn't work the way we are supposed to work it. And the rest is and this is city global. Right? I'm trying to again accommodate that, right? Same thing. I'm not doing anything else. So I'm trying to give it a city name like this city global. This way, right? So whenever let's try with this option. If it doesn't work, then we'll move to next option. Otherwise, not wait for the permutation and combination. But now the intention is clear, I guess. Everyone understood. This way you can give a conditioning. So training is started. Let's try this last time. Otherwise, it's not working like it be because it takes some time. Sometimes you have to try 4 or 5 times because the background training is sometimes takes time, or sometimes it may work immediately also. Right? So okay, tell me whether I will try with this one. So it should be able to tell me whether good weather. I will say weather. Nice weather, right? So now I'll make it mandatory. Which action parameters mandatory save. And then this time it should work now. It doesn't work, and we'll skip this one then, right? Intent is saved. Let's wait to start training or something like that. Then we will be able to proceed. Let's scout till that time. If it asks for reverse, okay, it's asking, then it should be able to fetch us. Not fetching, then that means the training is not completed yet. Okay, simple. No, it's not training, right? So let's not waste time. Let's move to next task then. This way, but now you guys are understood, right? You can make this training safe. Then in the background, it will try to save. Even it's trying to take the parameter city or something like that, and then trying to gauge the parameter. And on the basis of that, it will be able to give us the response. This kind of response is raining, cloudy, or something like that, right? So let's move to knowledge base. Since I told you guys that, what if you guys want to upload certain FAQs, right? Whenever you're trying to interact with your bot, at that time, bot will be able to answer certain questions which are very common, which are frequently used by the customer. That is called as FAQ. For that purpose, you have to come to this option, knowledge beta. And once you come to this option, first you have to enable this API. Now I am trying to, you must disable the knowledge base before deletion. Okay. Since I am enabled it, it's not allowing me to delete it. Let's try with this one only. Here, you will be able to create a new knowledge base. Click on create knowledge base. Let's say knowledge base name will be something like AB1. Give a name. Let's save. Then it will ask you option. Okay. So enter the name of the document. You have to enter the name of the document. Let's say FAQ doc. Then knowledge type. So whether it is a extractive question answering or FAQ, because we are asking frequently asked questions, so I will choose FAQ. So minimum type, So whether you want to give a direct, what you can do is you can directly give a link to a website where all your FAQs are stored, or you can upload a file. Now, in this case, I'm trying to upload a file. So that's why I will choose option CSV. Then from which source you want to upload this, right? I want to upload it from my computer. So I'll choose this one, select, go to downloads, and there I have downloaded one FAQ file, right? This one. The FAQ is downloaded, and let's say create. Sometimes it will give you error. At that time, what will happen is there may be certain commas or some extra spaces are available. At that time, it will not take, right, guys? So we have to go back to that document and clean that document. So now it is took because I cleared all that document purposefully. And let me tell you how should be the format when you are trying to upload the file. It should have only two columns. The first column, right, should be questions, and then second column should be the answers, right? Answers. Don't this do two columns should be there, and all this will be should not be separated in the separate column. That should be, let's say this is a question, then followed by the comma or some, let's say, semicolon, and then particular answer for that. Okay, this way the format should of the file should be there, and then only we would be able to upload this file. Once this file is uploaded, maybe you can go ahead and check now what is available. View a detail. Yeah. So show the list of the courses, right? What are the courses? This kind of question I have used. Do I have to bring my laptop to class, right? And then it will be able to understand that first column is question and second column is now answer. It is automatically detected, right? If you try to create some other column, then maybe it will try to understand that there is something else is there, and it will try to jumble up the things. That's why you should provide only two columns, question and answer. No need to write heading or something like that. You can directly provide it and it will try to understand it correctly. Okay. So these are the sample questions which I have uploaded here. So do I have to bring my laptop to the class, right? So this is the answer, right? And then do I have to, how many courses are available? And on basis of that, what are the courses? Like, let's say various courses, data science, 6-month, 3-month courses, something like that, right? Provide me the details and how many multiple, do I have to be good in multiple programming language, something like that. Based on that, programming language like Python R, they should be the basic and you should be able to understand that. So basis of that, let's try to understand, ask any question to it and whether it should be able to give me. First, you have to save. So it makes the training, and the basis of that, it should be able to give you the things, right? The save is done. I don't know whether the training is completed or not. Let's try with these questions. What are the sources? It should be able to give us an answer. No, that's not taking the training. We have to do one more thing setting, I think. Just a minute, I'll tell you. Okay. So once you uploaded this, there is one more option which you have to enable it, right? The response. What should be the response? Once you click on this response only, it will automatically try to take this way, this code, knowledge into answer, right? And this setting you do and save it, right? Then only it will be able to take that question and answer. So I did not just create this response section over here. I did not enable it. That was the reason it was not taken, right? Now let's go back to it. I'll delete this other file. It was there. Okay. So let's try to understand if I ask a question. What are the courses? No, it's not giving us error because I've created a tool and then it is trying to jumble up on this basis. Let's again ask what are the questions. So it should be able to give us the response accordingly. No, because I've created multiple one, I have even created this option. So for that reason, it is not taking, I think. So let's delete this one. So it's not allowing. I know I have to disable this one first. Okay. Document deleted. Need to refresh this one. And, let's try now. I'm looking at this one. Yeah, it's because of the two documents is not taking, but to try and understand this one. Again, I have to disable the API, then only it will be able to create. So for that purpose, I have to make certain changes. So, but I try and understand, guys, whenever you want to create FAQs, right? So you can put this question and answer this way. And then in the response section, when you go back, you have to just enable that, right? Enable the response, this one, the default response, right? And by using this one, you will be able to save and fulfill it. And then whatever question you will ask, the bot will be able to return. So there are certain complex adjustments we have to do. It will take some time. That's why I'm not going back into it. But I guess now, guys, clear that how we can now upload our document FAQ, and on basis of that, now I agree that we were not able to fetch the result because I have to disable the API again, enable and remove the files. That is some lengthy task. That's why I'm not doing it right now, because we have to discuss other API also. So, but I guess the procedure is clear, guys. Just quickly ping me that if you're now able to understand that. If I want to create my own FAQ list, how you can do it? Just upload the CSV file this way and make a response enable. And then whatever questions are present in your CSV files, it will able to give you the answers accordingly. Maybe tomorrow I will make adjustment. I'll give you a quick demo tomorrow for the same thing. But today now, let's not waste this time and try to understand this thing, right? So this is the option available. Just guys, quickly ping me if you are able to understand that how we can create the FAQs, right? So it is clear for you guys that how we can upload the FAQs. Tomorrow I will give you a working, because I have to again go back and change some settings, then only it will work. So we'll not waste time for making such changes. Okay. So quickly ping me if you guys are clear with the procedure that in chatbot, how we can create a FAQs, right? So after the confirmation, maybe I will go ahead with the next topic, like how we can create a API. Right, couple of more people, just give me confirmation that is clear. Simple process, right? We are not making any complex topic. Now the complex topic is yet to begin yet. So where we'll be fetching the APIs and we will be able to clear the things. Yes, no, guys, probably, yeah, few more response, and then we can go ahead with the understanding the how we can create a Flask API and how we can deploy it and how we will be able to fetch the weather map API. Yes, so guys, quickly within a minute, just ping me. If you have any doubt, also ping me. So I will try to take some question within 2 minutes, and then we can go ahead then. Any questions, guys? Any questions you want to ask? Till now, whatever things we have created, like we created intent, we created the entity, then we were able to make it mandatory parameter. Then we will able to upload our own file, and on the basis of the own file, it will give us the response. So if you have any question about this process, please let me know. So within a couple of minutes, I will able to answer you. If not, then if the things are clear, then maybe we'll go ahead with the next topic, that is how we can implement the API. How we can attach it to the open weather map API, and how the things will look like, right? I will make a code walkthrough in the Flask. Quickly tell me, guys, if you have any questions or any doubts about it. just last 1 minute, and then I will assume that everyone is clear and same page, so we can go ahead then. All right, guys, no other questions? Okay. So let me now switch to the other screen. I'll try to enable the other screen where I will make you a code walkthrough. All right. So you guys are able to see my screen, right? Now what we'll do is we'll try to understand, try to run the same things again, try to understand how it works. What is the weather? It's saying please enter the city. I will enter Mumbai. And let's see if it is able to give us a reply. Now it is working same, right? So what we can do is, now next thing what I have to do is, we also able to understand that how we can upload a document, and on the basis of this document, what are the popular question and answers are available. You have to just configure this knowledge test and make it safe, and we will be able to give you a quick review of the questions and an answer. This kind of question answer will be given by the bot. I will make adjustment tomorrow and then try to understand the fulfillment, right? Okay, guys, this fulfillment is very important. What do you mean by fulfillment is, let's say I want to now attach, till now it was able to give us only reply like this one, right? So weather is good, weather is nice, right? On the basis of this responses we have created, the weather is nice, weather is clear, right? Or weather something like that. So what we want is, we want the actual weather report, right? Rather than just giving this kind of fancy stuff, I want the actual report. For that purpose, what we can do is, we can go to a open weather map API, right? So this is a site, guys, which is available, through which you can take the API. I will take you to the front page of this website. This is a popular site, and this is a free API which is available, and this will be able to give us the you just search the city and it will be able to give you the temperature, wind, humidity, visibility, and some other information related to the city regarding the weather, right? So what we have to do is, we have to call this API, and by calling this API, I should be able to fetch the information accordingly. If I give a London, let's say I give a Berlin. So it should be able to give me the temperature, then humidity, and some other figures, right? Visibility, dew point, and some other, what is the wind speed, what is ultra violet rate, and some other information, wind speed, right? This kind of wind speed, everything it should be able to return me. So that is the main aim. For that purpose, what they have done is, they have created the APIs. First, you have to come to this website and create the login. Once you create a login and all, it will ask for the information. Since I have already created a login, so once you go to this API section here, so it will try to show you some options which are available. So you want to take a weather API for the current weather information, right? Current weather data. So it is also try to provide you the hourly basis forecast, daily forecast, right? Some other options. What I am interested in, I want to know, as soon as I punch the city, I should be able to get the weather, that is current weather. For that purpose, you have to click on subscribe. Once you click on subscribe, it will give you options, right? One option is for free, and then there are other options also if you want to take any other plans which are paid plans, right? So for that purpose, you can do the same thing, right? So since we are interested in a free API, and for free API, it has a certain option like you can make a 60 calls per minute, not more than that, and this much 100,000 calls per month. This is the limit, right? So what we want to utilize over here is if I want to go to this API key and I want to expose this API, so I can use this in my chatbot, and then it should be able to fetch the similar information what we saw in the. Why all this is paid? Yeah, because they want to make a business. That's why it is paid, guys. So, but still they are giving a free version, right? So you go to this free option, click on Get API, and then go to API key. So this is the API key, guys. Okay, this is the API key which you will require. Okay, so once you able to achieve this API key, you have to put it in your Python program. In Python, what we'll do, we'll create a Flask application. I will quickly tell you the Flask application, a Flask app. Okay, in this Flask app, we'll try to call a Python package. This Python package, this is called as Open Weather Map, OWM. This is already pre-built available package, and this package has to deal with the Open Weather Map, and it has all inbuilt function in this Open Weather Map. Just go to this Open Weather Map, call a function called as something called as OWM dot manager, something like that. And in that, you have to provide the API key. This key, which I am trying to show you on the screen. Once you are able to provide this key, it will be able to fetch us the information, right? The information will be in raw stage. So we have to filter that information, and then we have to bring the interested copies, right? How the interested, whatever the interested fields are there. So we should be able to create them. So let's try and understand this one. So this is the key from where you can get the key. Now go back to this APIs. This is also documentation given, guys. When you are seeing the current weather, this is the API document. So in API call, if you go to API document, it will also give you a code how you can make a call to this API. Call current weather API data, right? For that purpose, you will require this kind of information: HTTP API open weather map.org. And now, on the basis of the latitude and longitude, right? They're trying to give us information, right? In app ID, you have to provide a API key. Just now, whatever API keys I gave you guys, right? So, but what we'll do is, since our bot is trying to take the weather information as per the city name, right? So instead of giving latitude and longitude, what we'll do is we'll try to give a city name, right? So here we will be providing the city name and the API key, and then it should be able to fetch us the information. So if you go down below on this documentation, it's showing all the possible parameters which are available. On the basis of this parameter, how can you make a API key, right? And this is the example if you're trying to create through the JSON. So you have to provide the coordinates. These are the parameters, guys, usually which are available. What kind of information we will be able to fetch from this API. So let's try and understand that once you give a information as a city, then it will be able to fetch us this parameter. What are the longitude, latitude? What is the weather? Let's say mainly is rain or moderate rain, something like that. Then temperature, what it feels like, what is the maximum temperature, what is the minimum temperature, what is the pressure, what is the humidity, what is the sea level, what is the visibility, speed, and everything. And again, the measurement of the rain or cloud, something like that, and time zone and the name. Okay, this kind of parameters it will be able to fetch us once we provide the make a API call by using this code. And in this code, we have to provide the API key and also the parameters on which parameter you are trying to fetch the information. This part is clear, guys, right? So what I have to do is I have to now go back to my application, Python. I have to write application in Python, right? So what I will do is I will try to share a Python application with you. So try and understand, guys, this Flask application which we have created quickly, and then I will be able to give you a demo of how it is working. Let's understand this one. So what I am trying to do is, this is a Flask weather app which I have created. In that there is a file name called as app.py, right? So this app.py file I have opened. So now just like the similar code go through, what we're doing is initially we're trying to import the libraries. Now why I need Flask libraries? By using Flask only, I am trying to expose that API, right? So for that purpose, I need Flask. So I am trying to import Flask, and then again you have to make request and the response, right? The how we are trying to achieve the things here is, I understand these things. That now first I will give a city name as a request, and then in that request I should be able to get a response, right? A response in terms of all the parameters which we have seen, right? On the parameters like what is the temperature, mean temperature, max temperature, what is the wind speed, all those JSON file that will be able to give us a JSON format, all these parameters. So that's why I want to establish this kind of relationship. So for that purpose, I require this kind of libraries. Import Flask, request, and make response, right? Then again, we are trying to achieve all these things in the JSON format, right? So for that purpose, we require JSON. And again, the main package is PyOWM. By using this PyOWM package, I will be able to access the API of this weather website, right? That weather website is Open Weather Map. That is the name. And they have created a pre-built package. So all these packages I'm trying to import. Again, from Flask course, I'm trying to import the cross origin. Why cross origin is it has to do with something with the request, right? Whenever we try to create the different requests, at that time it should be able to handle it. For that purpose, I need a cross origin. Now try to understand what we're trying to create. We are trying to create an app. Okay, here in the app, first thing what I have to do is I have to punch this key, because without this key, I will not be able to access the API. So that's what I'm trying to say. API key equal to the API key, which we will be able to see from the Open Weather Map, right? When I went to API section, and then at that time, I was able to hit API key, and this kind of number was given back to me by that website, right? So that number is important. I will try to write that number and assign it to a variable called as Open OWM API key. Then next is I have to use this API key and call a function like that is OWM. So for that purpose, I am using the same library which we have used, PyOWM, and PyOWM.OWM equal to this API key. And this I am trying to store in OWM. Then there will be a manager called as weather manager. And this weather manager will try to access this key. For that purpose, I am just calling this function weather manager, OWM.weather manager. Okay, that is the initial thing I am trying to write. Then I am trying to create, whenever we create any APIs, guys, I understand that we try to create this APIs by writing app.route. So this is a common syntax you can say, and then after that you have to mention the name, right? So name of this route. So for that purpose, I am saying webhook. Why I am saying webhook, I will try to explain when I go back to, right? Yeah, guys, the feedback link will be shared by Amar, right? Amar is already shared it. So what I am saying is, once we go to this app route, right? So in this app route, I am trying to give a name as a webhook, right? Once I give a name as webhook, then I have to create a function webhook where request, because I have to make a request, right? And the request format should be JSON, because whatever request we are trying to return, right? From that weather API, we've seen that that format is JSON. So that's why I'm saying request JSON, and in that JSON, I'm just giving that feature force equal to true and silent equal to true. And then in this format, I will again try to go back to the this website and tell you. So first, what I will do, I have called a weather manager API, and within that weather manager API, I am trying to provide the API key. That's the only function I am trying to do, and this weather manager will be stored in the manager function. Next thing, what I have to do is I have to make a request, right? For that purpose, I am creating a route here. If you try and understand, guys, don't try to go into details thing, because it will take again one more lecture or two lecture to understand how the Flash application and all the routes and API. So quickly try to understand what we are trying to achieve here is we are requesting, right? What we have to do is we have to request this website on the basis of this API key. For that purpose, I am creating a request function over here, and request should be in the format of JSON. And then whatever request I am trying to do is I am just trying to print it over here for my knowledge purpose. And then I will be able to dump that into the JSON, right? JSON format. And then once I create this JSON format, right? And whatever response I will be getting, so that I will be able to store it in R, right? Make a response function. Again, we will go back and down and understand what is this make response function is all that. Then whatever response I am getting, I will be able to return it. That's what the simple task this function is doing webhook. So I am making a request. On the basis of this request, I am creating a JSON format. In this JSON format, I am just trying to access this weather manager function and by giving the API key, and then whatever response I am getting, I should be able to return it as an R, right? That's what the things we have understood now. Let's go back and understand what kind of request I am making. This request will be based on the format of the dialog flow, right? So in dialog flow, there is a diagnostic info. If you could remember, I will try to show you again. Going back to the that field. So there is an option called as diagnostic info. Once you click on it, so we were able to see that in the background how it is able to make the request or what kind of code it was generating, right? Whenever we're trying to fetch weather greetings or what is the city weather, how is the weather and all. So at that time we were able to fetch some code in the background. So we checked that code using the diagnostic info. So in the diagnostic info, what we did is we trying to pass the city as a string, as a geocity, right? So and whatever geocity we are passing, and then we are calling as a weather manager at place again, and we are trying to pass the city, right? Here in observation. This observation will again passed on to the again this function, right? Weather manager. This weather manager will be able to give us the information, right? At that time, manager dot weather at place, right? Weather at place using the parameter city. So this observation, it will have all the observation. Since we remember, we saw that in that JSON format, it was able to give us the latitude, longitude, wind speed, humidity, temperature, max temperature, mean temperature, that kind of the things I am trying to now just format over here, because in the observation, all the fields will be available. So I have to show them separately. For that purpose, I am just creating these variables, right? So lat equal to latitude, long equal to longitude, then wind speed equal to the wind speed, whatever I am trying to fetch over here, then humidity, and accordingly the minimum temperature, maximum temperature, and the Fahrenheit temperature, right? And then in the end, I will try to print something like that. Today the weather in the city, whatever city is we have provided, let's say Berlin or Pune, something like that. And then the whatever variables I have created, right? These variables I am trying to store the information out of this JSON, and all this information I will try to punch in over here, like temperature minimum, temperature maximum, then what is the humidity. For that purpose, we created this humidity variable, right? Wind speed and all that stuff. And then just try to return out of this function. And this is the common structure, right? How we write main equal to main. Then try to run it on the local portal. So I'm saying local portal 5000, we use this and then app.run. So when I come to this one, right? So I'm trying to run this application, run this app in the background in the terminal. It will try to run it. Now it is running on the local port. This is the link, guys, on the local port. Now this function is running. So now we need to test whatever code we have written, right? So we have not created UI. So we have to go ahead and test this link, right? So what I will do is there's a popular function called as, right? This is a popular function which is called as, right, testing of the API. Just a minute, I'll try to create a better view. So this is a postman, guys. This function is called as postman. In the postman, don't try to get confused looking at this window. Just try to concentrate on this window only. This is the request I am trying to create over here, right? So I understand. One now I was able to run my code, right? Just 1 minute. I have to share the screen. I think you guys are not able to see my postman. Okay. So this is the postman app. In the postman app, when I come to this postman app, since I was able to run, right, and it created a one link, right? That link was created and my application is now running, right? So try understand that once my application is running, but still I have not created any deployment, right? For that purpose, I have to access this API through the postman. So that's what I'm simply trying to do. So I am trying to punch this HTTP localhost, and out of that, I was interested in the webhook, and then I'm trying to make a request. So let's try and understand what kind of request we are trying to do here. So what I want is This same information will be available in the dialog flow. I will try to show this one to you. First, try to understand what we are trying to see here. We want a query text that tell me about the weather of the Berlin, right? So once I tell this weather of the Berlin or say Mumbai for that purpose, anything, right? Berlin. Tell me about the weather of Berlin. So in the GeoCity, it will try to store the Berlin, and on the basis of that, it will try to give me the response, right? Whether and that response we already configured in our PyCharm, right? In what way it should be able to give us the response. And this format I have not created. I directly copy this from the raw response, and the format I have chosen as JSON. Now try to test this one. So I have provided the name of the city, and it should be able to give us, right? Yeah, the previous executed one was for Mumbai. Then I have to test whether it will be able to fetch that API of the open weather map, and on the basis of that, it should be able to give me the current weather report for this Berlin, right? So I will just click on hit. Okay. 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 Why everything is now failing today? I don't know, but it should be able to give us a report, right? You can host Webhook. You have to provide the name. Previous it was running fine. I don't know what happened, no? But it will take some time to diagnose. But wait. So what try to understand how to test once I am able to create the right. Once I am able to create this Flask app, then I have to test whether it is working fine or not. Right. So once it is working fine, then I have to test this here. If we go back to previous session, right? So it was able to fetch us. Now I think this is having some issues. So I'll try to fix these issues again. Sometimes it gives us a issue, right? This kind of issue. We have to fix this one. Okay, again. I was able to. I just went back to portal, and I this PyCharm portal, and I have just rerun that function. Sometimes it takes time. Let's see if it gets successful or not. No, it's not getting successful. Okay. I change the name. It was successful previous, right? It was showing it for Mumbai. I know it's getting some issue. Let's rerun this one. No, but it will give us a response, right? Let's try and understand. I will fix this one. I don't know, some settings went wrong. Right. So this way you have to first create this app, right? Using this Flask app, and you have to run it on the local portal. You have to go to Postman. You have to check it. Once it's able to check and return us the value, then only we will be able to go back to our dialog flow. Let's go back to our dialog flow. and trying to understand that what kind of things it is doing right now. All right. So you have to come to this fulfillment part once you are able to successfully access it, and you have to punch the URL here, right? In this case, I was running on the local portal, but maybe you will do a deployment on the cloud. At that time, you will get a one URL, right? Just like this one from the cloud. So you have to punch this URL in the URL section, enable this webhook, and then you have to just save it, right? So once it is saved, then you can access this API of the open weather map, right? So what you can do is you directly cannot just come and call the weather open map. You have to create a Flask application, right? In this case, like we created the Flask application, the Python file which I told you, right? The Flask application. In this Flask application, we created a API file with the key, and then I was trying to call a weather at place, right? Guys, this is a good example that how sometimes even tested code fails and try to encounter the problem, right? Because I tested entire code in the morning and it was able to give me the result for the city along with all the parameters, but I don't know, some setting went wrong. So now it is not responding, but it's okay. I'll try to fix this and again try to give you a demo tomorrow morning. But try to understand that what we have done, what kind of code we are trying to expose it here, and what are the settings you need to do in the dialog flow. As long as you are able to understand this one, then it's not a big deal. Then you will be able to create such application, right? So what we're doing is we create one app and using this Python, because we cannot directly access this one, right? So we created one app using the Python. In this app, it was taking the key and it was trying to hit the API of the open weather map, OWM, and it was given us a JSON files. JSON file has many information like temperature, right? Temperature, wind speed, and everything. So we were mainly interested in the some parameters. So I just tried to format those parameters and try to display it written back. That's what the only task which our Python program was doing. And once you are able to deploy these things, everything, you will be getting one simple URL, that right? That URL you have to come to webhook. You have to enable the webhook and you have to punch in here, and then you have to say save. Then it will be able to fetch you the direct information of the temperature or current weather temperature from this particular URL, right? I hope guys this part is now clear. And for the integration, right, I'll also tell you integration. You can integrate this bot with the different channels, right? For that purpose, let's say web demo. So if you want to make a web demo, it will give you two options. One, you create a HTML, or you can create a link. So if you try to use this link, right? So I go to a URL. So this is how the demo your bot will appear, right? On the any particular website. At that time, let's say hi. It will say how can I help you? So I will ask what is your name? So it will give me its name. So this is Prime. Then I will tell him, tell me the weather report for Mumbai. So it will say, please enter name, because we have not done all the conditions and everything. So I will again write a name, let's say Berlin or some Mumbai, something like that. So now it is again getting looped because it is not covered the training part. So it was remaining. That's why otherwise it will be giving you like the weather. Weather is nice. This kind of reply it will give you over here, right? So this is how you can access your bot also using the URL. And what is the other option? Other option is, if you go to this one, web demo, there's a code written here. If you try to copy this code and save it in HTML file, so it will open a new file also, HTML. So what we are interested is now, So we want to create a integration with the Telegram, right? For that purpose, you have to click this one. So you have to create this token. I have already created this token, guys. So today we are done with the time, but tomorrow I will make this code up and running. I will make some necessary adjustment, and I will show you that how we can get this Telegram token. And using this token, let's say if you say start. So if I go to my Telegram, I will also show you. So I will be able to access my bot in the Telegram. Let me share the Telegram link with you guys. Just last couple of minutes, guys, then we will be able to close this session. Just a minute, guys. I'm trying to log into Telegram. One moment, guys. Let me check where I wrote in this Telegram link, and I will show you in the Telegram link how we can integrate. I will not cover all the details. Just try to just give you the hint that how we can cover this in Telegram as well. All right. So go go to the Telegram here. So I have integrated this bot, right? This bot, the weather bot. Whenever you try to say hi, it will be able to respond. You can help you. Tell me your name. Okay. So it will be and bot. And whenever even if you look at my previous transaction, so please I told it tell me the weather. It said enter the city. I said enter. I entered the Mumbai, and it was able to tell us that it is a nice weather, right? So this way you can even integrate. And for that purpose, what we have to do is you have to just do a simple trick. Go to integration, and in that integration, choose whatever channel like Skype or Twitter. In this case, I am going Telegram. In the Telegram, you just need this kind of link, right? This link is required. This token will be given by the Telegram, right? You have to go to a bot further. This is the option which is available in Telegram. Then I will show you this, guys, all these details tomorrow. But I hope, guys, you understand that what is the process, how is the entire things are going out over here, right? And how we can able to create the bot and how we'll be able to enter it, right? All right, guys. If I think everything is clear now for everyone, right? How we can create a bot and everything, all these details. So just just quickly give me guys pings that whether you are able to understand everything or not, and then on the basis of that, we'll be able to close this meeting, and tomorrow we'll start again. So guys, everyone is clear now how we can create a bot. How we can create a bot, how we can create the greetings, how we can create the intent, how we can even do the integration, and we call the APIs and all. So I hope this is a nice tutorial. You guys might have enjoyed this one, right? Any other doubts or anything, guys? Did you guys get right what all steps we have done apart from this error we were receiving, right? During this integration that we'll try to fix tomorrow, and hope you guys were able to understand, right? What all things we have done here, how we try to integrate the things, how we try to punch the things, and how we can make it to the website, right? I shown you this web demo also here. Just quickly ping me, guys, yes, no, and then we can start tomorrow again. We are already late, right? All right. All right, guys, then thank you very much and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll try to fix these things, try to see it, and then we'll start with the convolution neural network then. All right.